hockey world is mourning one of its all-time greats today. Montreal Canadiens legend Henri Richard has passed away at the age of 84. The CBC's Mika Guerrero is in Montreal with more on Richard's life and legacy.
Well, first, he's a part of hockey's royalty and Montreal Canadiens royalty because, yes, he's the younger brother of the Maurice Rocket Richard, but he's also the player that has the most games played with the Montreal Canadiens, with 1,256 games in the regular season and another 180 games in the playoffs. And, of course, when you hear the name Henri Richard, you think about his 11 Stanley Cups. Yes, you heard me, 11 Stanley Cups, which will probably never be equaled in the history of the NHL. The closest players that have more than 10 cups, actually, who have 10 cups are Jean Béliveau, and the rest only have 9 cups to their credit. So Henri Richard is basically a legend only for those 11 cups. Although he was very quiet and a very, I would say, humble player, he was one of the greatest.
And let's talk about how one of the greatest is being remembered in Montreal today.
Well, he's being remembered, as I said earlier, as someone who was very humble, but also an underrated legend, because everybody knows about Maurice Richard, who has a trophy to his name, but Henri Richard has more Stanley Cups, more points, more games played in the NHL than his older brother, who was 15 years older than him. He also played 20 years in the NHL as well. So he's being remembered as a legend by his peers. Scotty Bowman talked about a tough player, but a player that was good offensively, but also defensively, who always made the team come first before himself. And Serge Savard earlier on Radio-Canada talked about a player who never had individual trophies except for the Bill Masterton Trophy because he was very quiet and very humble as well. He was a team captain also, and a lot of his teammates have made known how much they admired him and how much he was respected in Quebec and in Montreal in particular. And the team obviously tweeted about his passing, but also other Montreal professional teams like the Montreal Alouettes, for example, who made sure to honor his memory.
The CBC's Mika Guerrero in Montreal. Mika mentioned Scotty Bowman's reaction to the death of Henri Richard. Bowman is one of the most successful coaches in NHL history, and he coached the Montreal Canadiens when Henri Richard was the captain of the team. Here's how he described Richard today.
Very quiet. He did his talking on the ice. You know, he was a player that he was a fierce competitor, and you knew every game he was going to play up to the capabilities of his ability, and never had to worry about him playing hard. He was just a superb player and clutch player. That's why he won 11 times, you know.